I want to see Dame versus Jokic. Like, I'm waiting for Dame to make that playoff run. And with Jokic without Jamal Murray, this might be the perfect storm brewing for Dame to make it to the Western Conference Finals. Like, we know what he does this time of year. He's a killer. So I'm really interested to see how Denver plans on containing Dame.
Yeah, it's a good choice. Good choice. Good choice. I like the 3-6 matchups a lot. I'm going to go ahead and throw one out there, too. That was a good choice. I'd say that my other joint that I'm looking forward to is the Bucks and the Heat in the East. I think that's the best conference matchup in the East. You know, we talk about the Heat or a team that I think out of all the lower seeds are the most likely team that could actually advance. Now, being matched up with the Bucks is not exactly favorable for them, you know, because the Bucks might be the best of the top seeds that's ranked the lowest. But, you know, I think the Heat have a chance. I think it's going to be a really good series. I think they'll probably push them to 6 games, maybe 7 if we're lucky. But, you know, that could be a situation where they get punched in the mouth and maybe Giannis and the boys get punked out in the first round.
Yeah, that's the matchup. You know, I'm a Bucks guy, so I didn't want the Heat, man. I was hoping we didn't see the Heat again. They destroyed us last year, but we got rid of Eric Bledsoe. They got Drew Holiday. I think Drew Holiday fits what the Bucks want to do a little bit better. That's going to be a good series too. I just didn't want to say it because there's a chance that the Bucks could get destroyed again. So, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. I wouldn't want to say it either if I were you. It's like candy, man. You don't want to say it out loud.
Yeah, facts. Luka and playing against Kawhi and Paul George, I think the Clippers should have a clear advantage there. But I'm curious to see what Luka does. I want to see some of these young guys make playoff runs. You know, I know
cupcake
Kawhi
cupcake matchup in the first round, if you ask me, for the Clippers.
You think it's a cupcake? You think the Clippers gonna walk through them? How many games?
Well, I don't think the Clippers are that good, so I don't think they're gonna walk through anything. But you know, I think it's like a 4-2, 6. You know, it's a 6-game series. Luka is like a team like Luka and them. They got a good, like, you know, they're built like any other Mavericks team that we've seen in years. You know, like besides Luka, the rest of those guys are just like, you know, just guns. You know, they're just like hired guns. Like, where do they find these guys? The Mavericks, they always find guys like that. You know, they're productive, but like, you know, like, I don't know. Like Tim Hardaway is just, you know, he's just good. You know, Tim Hardaway.
Jalen Brunson. They got.
Yeah, I know just got guys like that. Yeah. You know, who's Jalen Brunson? He ain't nothing. He's like this generation's JJ Barea for them. Like, you know, they just find guys that fit their system so well. You know, and I like Jalen Brunson. Like, he's a Nova guy. He was really underrated. You know, but like, I don't know. I just don't see the Mavericks making any legitimate noise. You know, and I just don't really like Porzingis that much, to be honest. I just don't. I don't know.
They was calling Porzingis the unicorn. Now it's looking like, man, he wasn't a unicorn.
Guy. Yeah, he's a unicorn in a sense, like, you know, he's on some Fugazi shit right now. He's on some Pixie Fairy shit. You know, Mr. All I do is fade away. Like, I don't know, man. I just, you know, if you're a center and all you do is fade away, I don't respect you that much. Even if you hit him all the time.
G, what do you think about the Knicks and the Hawks?
That's the game that's the series that I'm looking into the most. We're talking about a team that lost the Hawks and losing their coach right before the All-Star game, if I'm not mistaken. And to now look at them now, a straight 5th seed, and then we're talking about Tim taking his scrappy dogs from New York. So I don't know. I think that's the series you need to be really looking into because you're talking about both a young team trying to have a playoff run. We're gonna see if Trae Young is really the truth from here on out because this would be his second postseason.
I think it's his second postseason.
Yeah, and we're gonna
no. Was it? I don't think he was there last year. Yeah,
Trae Young. Hell no, he wasn't in the bubble. He was in his own bubble. He wasn't part of any postseason at all, or even close to the postseason. He wasn't within 15 feet of a postseason appearance. He wasn't anywhere close. He was not.
I know Thibodeau usually gives
So both of those guys were both coming from not even being playoff contenders to both not being top 5 and 4. Both young
Yeah.
teams. I would love to see what Trae Young give us this season, and that's the series that I want to see the most. And I will probably a little Grinch inside me want to see the Hawks beat the Knicks because I just don't like the Knicks. Fuck the Knicks. But until right now, congratulations to the Knicks. But fuck the Knicks.
I do think the Hawks play a more exciting brand of basketball, but I think basketball needs playoff ball at the Garden. I think they're only going to 10% capacity, but I think we want to see Spike at the Garden. I mean, who doesn't want to see that? I don't know if you want to see RJ Barrett and those guys, but I want to see Spike at the Garden. I want to see the Knicks get out of the first round. Julius Randle's a young guy to me too, so if he makes the playoff run, that's cool. But
yeah, I'd like to see Spike at the Garden, second round matchup against the Sixers. That'd be a good matchup. That's all I know is I'm happy either one of those teams second round, but I'd love to see Spike at the Garden courtside, Joel Embiid giving them shit. You know, that would be fun.
I need a Reggie Miller moment. The token. I need a Reggie Miller moment at the Garden, and that's what we're talking about. I need the Hawks to come through and give me one. Give me some hope for the summer. Because I just hate the Knicks. I'm a Knicks hater. And I'll live with that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it's all right. It's worse things you could be. Worse things you could be. Anybody else? Last call on the playoff matchups.
Yeah, I'll go real quick. The playoff matchup in the first round that I'm most excited to see is really whoever the Lakers end up matching up with. And for the simple fact of the narrative that's going to go along with it, they're going to be either the 7th or 8th seed. So you can't just go out and lose, you know what I mean, because it's LeBron and AD and all that. Like, it's kind of a big deal. 52 wins, best team in the league, all that. You can't just lose because you're playing the King and all that, you know. So, I mean, I think the outcome of that series will have a interesting impact or interesting narrative to talk about. But the most exciting first round series, as far as pure basketball, will probably be Denver and Portland. I'm taking Portland in that series, but I think that'll be a solid series.